Okay, you can see behind me that the login for the month of March is Sith Marauder. Wow, what does that mean? Well, we've been expecting and anticipating a Darth Revan or Darth Melek, and there's a lot of clues which we're going to go over, but the question was always when. And so gamingfans.com has said the same thing, this month the logon is going to be Sith Marauder. What does that mean? Darth Revan? Or does it mean a Sith capital ship? I think we could get both. Hopefully we get both. We definitely need some things to change things up away from this 88% Jedi Knight Revan. Boy, that is not a fun matchup. If you've played Revan versus Revan, it's terrible. Link up here in the top right-hand corner to a video to get the most out of it, to make the mirror matches as easy as possible. But some of the clues that we've had in the last couple of months, first one was here inside of the Road Ahead blog where they make reference to, you hear that, meatbags, and that's a reference to HK-47. Then on the launch of Jedi Knight Revan, there was numerous references to the kit of Jedi Knight Revan, and then also a Darth Revan. Savior, Conqueror, Hero, Villain. Of course, Savior and Hero would be Jedi Knight Revan, but Conqueror and Villain would be the Darth Revan. Now, they do make also reference right here to Darth Melek, so maybe we're going to get Darth Melek. And I want to say in this video, I'm not really sure if it's Darth Revan or Darth Melek. Just to keep things simple, I'm going to make reference to Revan, because I think that's the one that everyone wants to be. Now, I personally can't understand, as someone that never played Knights of the Old Republic, how we have a game that is just completely dominated by that for like at least a year now. Going back to Treya and Nihilus and all of that, and then we got Bastila, and then Jedi Knight Revan, if we're going to go into a Malak, and then a Darth Revan. I mean, I didn't play the game, and I understand that people did really love it, and everybody tells me to go play it, but, it's an old game, from 2003 or something. I just don't really want to do that right now. So, what does all this mean? How do we get ready? And this screenshot that came out, I don't know, around the time of the Droideka launch, which is a legitimate screenshot. This is not a fake screenshot. This is from a developer build. Shows a triple Zeta Gamorrean Guard, which is definitely a placeholder for Revan or Malak. More importantly than that, it shows the Zeta for HK-47, which means that there's a HK-47 rework being worked on, and the question is when. And now that we have the Sith Marauder logon for the month, it could be this month. And so this definitely suggests, Fallen Bastila is going to be an important character with the Zeta on both teams. And then we've got the rest of the Sith there, and whatever composition is going to be optimal, we'll find out, of course, someday. And we don't even know if this Gamorrean Guard is either Malak or Revan. Now, triple Zeta characters, Hero's Journey, Legendary Journey characters have always been important. We're talking about Commander Luke, Jedi Knight Revan, Jedi Training Rey. Always important meta-defining characters. We certainly need something. Even the ship's arena now is all Houndstooth and Millennium Falcon, so we definitely need something. And I thought this post was kind of funny. We've got Scooby-Doo right here, where he takes off the mask, and behind the Gamorrean Guard is Darth Revan. That seems to be likely. So what are people doing to prepare? And I don't like panic farming, and I'm not suggesting anybody to panic farm. The marked characters right here are the ones that I farm every day. And if we look at Old Republic tag, and interestingly, there's an Old Republic tag for ships, and there's no ships there, but that's been in the game for a minute. But it's likely that these four characters are going to be required for whatever this journey character is going to be. And I'm going to talk about how Jedi Knight Revan was unlocked. That was expensive, although the value is better than the marquee packs and the way the marquee packs have been. We're going to talk about that too. So Fallen Bastila, Canderous Ordo, Karth, Onasi, Juhani. These are all hard node farms except for Ordo, which is Cantina. Now, if they do a pack like they did for Jedi Knight Revan, which had Jolee, Bastila, T3M4 Zalbar, Mission, they do a pack like they did with those five. For me, I'm going to want to get these 4 characters to have a similar amount of shards. So I'm going hard right now on Juhani and Karth and Nessie, and if I get them in the shipments, I will buy them. I'm going to try to get them all to around the same number of shards. That way, if they come out with some pack like they did with Jedi Knight Revan, here's a link to that video. Boy, that was a mess. And I don't know if I want to do that again, to be honest with you. I don't know. We're going to have to see. I know Darth Revan or Darth Melek is going to be important. And I know that this game, buying marquee packs is expensive, and the cost has come down quite a bit, actually. We'll talk about that. But I was able to get basically 6 characters for $400. And 3 of them I use all the time, the ones that I have G12 right there. Jedi Knight Revan, Jolee, and Bastila. And that team has been just crushing it and is going to be an important team and important characters for a long time. So I do think that the dark version of Revan is going to be important also. And it's going to be these 4 characters. Who the 5th character is, I don't know. Maybe it's Sith Marauder. Maybe it's going to be HK-47. I'd like to think it's going to be HK-47. That makes a lot of sense to me. Other thing, too, I want to say that the packs have changed. And the mega pack that came out for Droideka actually cuts the cost of marquee down quite a bit. Marquee packs in the past, like this one right here for $12.99, netted usually about 7 shards, and people would spend about $300 for a marquee character. Now, the new pack right here, which is $25.99, I've done the math, and it's 19.5, actually 19.55, so between 19 and 20 shards per pack. And so that is leaving people with about $230, give or take. And that is about what most people are saying, $60, $70 less than the old marquee pack system. Also, the Palpmobile, Palpatine's command shuttle, was launched in a way which was also significantly less than a $300 marquee pack. People were unliking that for about $200. Now, let's talk a little bit about some updates on Grand Arena. I got to give them props for listening to the community. People, from what I could see, were unhappy with the banning of characters. I know I even poked fun at this more playful and fun direction, and they're going to get rid of that. No more complete character brands. Thank you. I got to give them props for listening to the community, and I just like the way they communicate and all of that. Other thing, too, the frequency of the events. They're going to increase the frequency events of Grand Arena. Grand Arena has been a very popular event. A lot of people like it. I like it. I have some issues with the matchmaking, which we're going to talk about here. And then there's some people talking about the reward structure. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but all games that I've ever played have been hackable. Every game. The Grand Arena format, if hacking went rampant, that would be an opportunity for cheaters. And that opportunity doesn't really exist in other game modes that we have in the game, where it's very easy to report and detect someone that is cheating. Think about your squad arena. If you're in the top 20 in the squad arena and someone new pops in with a severely low team and just wipes out everybody with half the power and using Mob Enforcer, you're going to report them. It's going to be a lot harder to detect in Grand Arena. And they've de-incentivized that by having kind of modest rewards in there. And I think that is a good thing to have modest rewards in the Grand Arena. Make it for fun. Make it for bragging rights. Make it because it's competitive. But if the rewards are just absolutely amazing, people will cheat. And they have not designed it that way. Again, props to them. 2 things I got to complain about. We have to complain about this. And this was a post on Reddit by Voidminer. And I read it and I was like, wow, that guy really identified with him. I really identified with what he wrote. First of his gripes is Revan versus Revan. And just like him, I've had Revan since it came out, over 4 months. Sick of it. Revan versus Revan fights are the most obnoxious thing ever. Yes, they are. The fights are long, tedious, and unfun. Revan teams are going into the 200s. And even with God mods, a lot of people are doing 10 or more Revan versus Revan matches a day to climb in the top 5. I don't have that, but it's not fun, and it is dominant, and 88% is unprecedented. That's never happened in this game before, and Grievous and Droideka is not changing that, and I also think that was an opportunity missed. They could have made a lot more money, I think, if that would have been a better team, just to shake that up a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. And so probably Darth Revan is going to be it. And then Grand Arena. Boy, I like Grand Arena. I don't like the matchmaking system. I don't like the way power is tabulated in this game. And I just want to read this because it says, Grand Arena made upgrading the roster a bad thing. There's now a quality GP and a fluff GP. That's 100% true. People are stripping all the mods off of their bad characters that they do not use in a Grand Arena. They have characters that are at level 1. They have all the shards and they're not upgrading them to 7 stars. And that is not the way the game was played prior to Grand Arena. And it changed everything. And I'm like this guy. I like unlocking and 7-starring everything. I also do. Now I can't do it because having a 7-star mod enforcer is suddenly bad. And everyone with a highly focused roster are advantage. I don't want to strip the mods off all of my bad characters, but that's what you have to do if you want to play competitively in Grand Arena. And this just seems contrary to the way that the game is designed. Developers build a game where it's like you want to get every character and you want to get everything and got to collect them all and all that stuff. And this particular mode discourages that. If a character is bad, it is to your advantage to keep them as low as possible so that you will have a more focused Grand Arena and it's not bloated. It's definitely impacted me in my Grand Arena. If I look at my roster, you know, I have all these characters developed out, and when I go up with someone with a similar galactic power, I will see that they have all of these characters at level 1. All the shards are there, but they do not have them upgraded or unlocked at all, and they have double the amount of G12 plus characters, and they have no mods on their lower characters. So I'm at an extreme disadvantage because I did what was right based on the way the game was when the whole focus of the game was territory battles. Because, you know, with territory battles and the platoons, you know, you have to fulfill the platoons and the 7 stars, and you needed to have as high of a galactic power as possible to do that. So I played the game in a certain way because of that, and now that is, I'm experiencing a severe penalty. So they need to change something with matchmaking inside of the Grand Arena, something that has to do with the number of Gear 12 plus characters in your account and the number of the Gear 11 and Gear 10, because pretty much Gear 9 and below, or even maybe Gear 10 and below, at least at the level that I'm playing, is completely useless in a matchup. And that they would also do ships and count GP and ships does not make sense, and I agree with them. He has some other issues with the raids, which I'm not going to get into here, but I do agree. I just want to say I thought this was a fantastic post. So are you ready for Jedi Knight Revan? Probably not. A lot of people are telling me they're experiencing fatigue right now, and they just can't keep up with the game, but these 4 characters, likely they're going to be important. All right, guys. Let me know what you think about all this, and as always, thanks for watching. Keep on gaming.